Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear of favor. The recent removal of Ghanaian nationals from South Africa's reignited calls for a reassessment of diplomatic and migration relations between the two countries. The incident, which saw several Ghanaians expelled over alleged immigration violations, has sparked concern among advocacy groups and community leaders in Ghana. They argue that the action reflects broader tensions around the treatment of African migrants and the need for clearer bilateral agreement on labor mobility and consular protection. Analysts said the development underscores long-standing issues of documentation, employment, and enforcement faced by West African nationals in South Africa, while South African authorities maintain that expulsions were carried out in line with immigration law. Critics contend that the process lacked transparency and due process. In response, civil society organizations and some policymakers in Ghana are urging both governments to revisit existing framework and establish mechanisms to prevent similar occurrences. They said the reset in relation should prioritize dialogue, consular cooperation, and the protection of citizens' rights. The Ghanaian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has yet to issue a formal statement on the issue, but officials indicate that the issue is being monitored closely. Observers note that without a structured diplomatic review, similar incidents could continue to strain Ghana-South Africa ties. So, fortunately for us, yesterday we had, for me personally, yesterday I had a good time, and for the first time in my life, I said that, and then some colleagues of mine were like, no. I mean, they were trying to argue with me, okay, because I said for the first time in my life, I'm proud to be a Ghanaian. And I said that for a reason. So yesterday we had about 300 of our people peacefully and by the grace of God and whatever you can add up to what I just said, landed in Ghana safely. And trust me, the joy and the happiness in the faces of our ministers who went to meet these people tells a lot. It shows that kind of unity and that kind of bond we have with each other. I mean, we might have internal issue as Ghanaians, but if another party tries to interfere, it means you have become a third party. It's just like twins fighting with each other, and then you coming in to separate these two. You end up, you might be a third party. They might gang up against you. So this whole thing about government, Ghanaians being pushed out of South Africa just because they felt like some of them are there illegally. They access the country illegally. They're saying their documents and everything is like, some of them are being forged and like a whole lot of issues. But at the end of it, it shows that, I mean, trust me, we've really done so well. And this morning, I want to commend the president. I want to commend the foreign affairs minister, Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa. Trust me, they are working so hard. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, being led by Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa, is working so hard. And I can boldly say that whatever he's doing is being evident out there, and then we are seeing it. Even when you go to social media, the way Ghanaians are fighting with the South African, like with words, the banter, you could see that like we are standing in for our people. And as I said, this shows the love and the unity we have among ourselves. If another country is saying that they don't want us because they've noticed some things and so they are pushing us out, we want our people back in here because this is your country. There is a saying that's home sweet home, okay? Regardless of how bad your home is, regardless of how bad things are ongoing, your home is still your home. No matter the distance, no matter how long you travel out of your home, you still come back home because that is your root. So you are back to your root. And there is no way your roots can reject you. No, no, no. You see, no matter how a mother or a parent dislike their words, even if they don't become what they ought to become, they still take them because that is their children, okay? You can't claim somebody's child to be your child. And there is no refuse dump where you dump children. So for that kind of unity, come on, it's so nice. But this is what I want us to say. I think this is also a call to us that we need to do more. Okay, the reason why they moved out of this country, it based on their own reasons. They have their own reasons of moving out of this country. But then I feel like we need to do more as a country. We need to fix things. If South Africa is saying that they don't need us, then this is simple as ABC. We also don't need them here. And the most serious aspect is that they have the companies we have in Ghana that are being owned by South Africa. Like Edoso. MTN is being owned by South Africa. MultiChoice Ghana is from South Africa. DSTV was for South Africa, but then it's now owned by France. And then we have the Standard Bank also for South Africa, ShopRite, South Africa, Anglo Gold Ashanti, South Africa, South African Gold Mining Company right here in Ghana. Then we have the Gold Fields, also South African Gold Mining Firm operating in Ghana here. We also have African Cellular Group, which is South African ICT and Steel Tower Company that has built over 300 telecoms towers in Ghana. So it should tell you that they have their companies here in Ghana. So I don't understand why we would need to fight ourselves. Okay, so this is a case where Africans are trying to unite and then claim what is theirs. We want to unite so that we can hold this Western world accountable. That has to do with the slave trade, the repatriation. They owe us a compensation. Now, how would they take us serious when we are being divided? And with what South Africa is doing, like, it's kind of funny. And when you listen to the people speak, you will know that the country is not a safe place to live. The way people were being beaten, shops owned by foreigners is now an open venture where South African can troop in and then pick whatever they want to pick. Because the authorities are quiet, they are not saying anything. The laws are backing them. And one video I came across yesterday, students of South Africa were marching on the streets, chasing away foreigners who are in their own schools. And you see, I saw a statement that I was like, this statement is very, very deep. The person was like, you see, your politicians or your leaders or whoever they are trying to, paint bad pictures about other African countries for you. And then you are taking up the lead. When the time comes, and then your leaders are against you, we will see who will stand in for you. As simple as ABC. Because if you're fighting against the same people who stood in for your country when your country had nothing, then you should bear it in mind that a time will come when you'll be in need of these people and they will still not stand in for you. And you see, one thing about Ghanaians is that Ghana is a loving country, as usual. Ghana is a peaceful country. And that is why you will see foreigners in here. Go to Malam Junction. A lot of shops there are owned by Nigerians. And then we buy from them. And I'm sure when you go to Nigeria, there are companies there that are being owned by Ghanaians. And that is bilateral relation between Ghana and other African countries. Because we know that one country cannot do it alone. And since we've all realized that we are one people, why don't we have a relation, a bilateral relation, or a multilateral relation, where other countries will come into our countries, trade, get their money, go back. Ghanaians also go into other African countries, trade, and then come back to our country. That is how it's supposed to be. And if you look at history, how Ghana, led by Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, helped South Africans. And then looking at how they are retaliating now, it's like, it's something else. It's so sad. Yesterday, when you saw the video, I know most of us have seen the videos when they landed here in Ghana. Some of them were crying. And I could personally understand. Some people went there to make a living. And so long as their own shops and a big shop and all that, it should tell you that their whole life they've been living in South Africa and they've been building something for themselves. And then coming back with nothing is kind of very, very painful. But this is it. We don't need to keep quiet as a country. We should take action. If it is possible. Someone was like, when we close MTN right now, which other network are we going to use? Because as it stands now, it looks as if MTN is the only network that everybody is using. When we close down MTN, it will be a wake-up call for us to also set one and make good use of it. And that is why I'm saying this is a reset call for us as a country. We need to build our own home and be proud of ourselves. And if some people are saying they don't want us, then we also don't need them, because if we don't create that kind of barrier, then we should be rest assured that something of this sort will happen. Let's not forget about what happened in 1970s, where Nigerians said they don't need us in their country again. And they sucked us out. And that is where the Ghana must go issue came in. So please, let's wake up as a country. It's good. For me, I'm so excited that our people are back in here. But let's put measures in place and ensure that such incidents do not occur again. Thank you for making time with me on Terrestrial.